Hey, how you doing? I'm Trenius Henderson. You're tuned into the infamous Living Realm Network. Divine powers are always working for us because we're trying to do right. 10 signs you are starting your spiritual awakening. Well, let me enlighten you a little bit on what spiritual awakening is before we get right down into it. First thing you need to know is that spiritual awakening is something that happens on the inside of who you are as an individual. You know, most of the time, we think about spiritual things as things that are on the outside of us. You know, most people see the creator or the source of the universe, God, as something that's on the outside, something that's high in the cloud and far off, and we have to talk to it or whatever it is that's outside of us. But that's not necessarily the case. A spiritual awakening happens on the inside. It starts with making yourself better. Then you can make other people's lives better and the world a better place. See, one thing you got to realize is that in order to really find your way in this life, it starts with yourself first. You are the only person that you can change, because everybody else, it's hard to change. Like, they don't get it. They don't understand you. They don't know where you're coming from. They do things backwards. They just don't get it. So with that being known, you have to continue to just work on yourself. You know, just remold, reconstruct yourself. I mean, you're never going to be perfect. But the only thing you can do to better your life is to make yourself better first. Spiritual awakening is something that a lot of people know about nowadays. It's like the new thing. You know, it's the new trend. People are starting to wear it now. You know, but we want to get it right. We don't want to just wear it and it don't look right. Spiritual awakening is happening all around us right now, even as we speak, because the paradigm is shifting in the world. Now, you might not know about that. But basically, the world is changing. Evolution is changing, human evolution. And you have people like Justin Bieber, who just recently had a spiritual awakening. It was said that Justin, he canceled his whole tour because he wanted to, I think, give back. He wanted to do something humanitarian because he felt like he was becoming more in tune with himself and he wanted more peace in his life. And he wanted to do better things than just music. And even in movies, now more psychological thrillers are popular. Now you have more movies about space and the universe and the cosmos and the galaxy. Once upon a time, this stuff was considered weird. Once upon a time, this stuff was for the nerds. You know, for the goody two-shoe people. You know, once upon a time, to be goody two-shoe, it wasn't cool to be a goody two-shoe. You know, and to say polite things and to say kind, kindred things to a friend. It was cool to be bad. It was cool to keep it gangster. But now things matter. Now we want to make life the best life ever. Now we want to accomplish our dreams. Now we want to reach our goals. Now you want to become successful. Now you want to have money, fat bank account. Now you want to have a lot of friends. Now you want to have a partner and a loving relationship. And so since the frequencies of the world is changing, that means that we have to change as individuals as well. So let's get right down into it. The first sign that you are starting your spiritual awakening is that everything begins to go wrong. I remember when I first, started my spiritual awakening, I just came to a different realization about myself and what I wanted to do. And so I had to learn as much as I can. And so right when I started to learn as much as I can and become a better person, it's like everything began to go wrong. My whole world began to crumble. Never have I ever really had any ill intentions towards anything or anyone. But it's still like my whole world started to crumble. I mean, I was broke. I didn't have money to do anything. I didn't have any friends to call on. I didn't have no one around me that loves me. I didn't think I looked good. My job wasn't the best job. I didn't want to be working there. That's the first sign that you're starting your spiritual awakening. It gets deeper. All right, number 2, you begin to feel stuck. I don't know about you, but I started to feel really, really stuck. Like I felt like every time I try to, make an effort to be the best person I can, to do something, to set sail and start something new. And I always tried to please myself, but no matter what I did, I always felt stuck. I always was alone. I always was in a lonely place. I didn't really understand what I could do to get out of this lonely place. It's like I tried everything I can. I was crying, I was bawling tears, I was hitting the walls, I was staying up late at night reading books, trying to learn, trying to do the best I can because it felt like I was in a prison in my life at that time. And so maybe you're in the same position, and that is a sign that you're starting your spiritual awakening. It gets better. Continue to listen. Number 3, you begin to have dreams. If you are just not starting your spiritual awakening, or if you have had dreams, then you are starting your spiritual awakening. That's usually what happens. This is what happens when your spirit is beginning to awaken. Your mind is becoming more imaginative. You're starting to use your right brain more versus your left brain, which consists of just logic and reasoning and trying to figure out 1 + 1 is 2 and putting things together. So you start to use your creative mind more. And this is where it gets a little fun. This is where things get a little spicy because you get to see another side of life that you've never ever seen before. And most of this spiritual world takes place in your dream life. The dream life is going to have a strong effect on who you are as an individual and your awakening state of living. And so you'll understand more about this as time goes on. The more you have these dreams, the more you are starting this journey of spiritual awakening. You will discover that your dreams are helping you so that when you are consciously awake, you can remember those dreams and you can feed off those dreams in living the reality that is set before you. You might not understand it now, but keep going. You will definitely understand it eventually. All right, number 4, you become extremely paranoid. You become extremely paranoid because for the simple fact that you are doing something new, you've never done this before, it totally just mind boggles you that you are doing this. I mean, you've probably never been a spiritual person before. You really didn't care no matter what it was or anything like that. This spirit stuff is just a little different. But for some of us who are on our journeys, we'll be the first to tell you that, paranoid is a part of the package. It's part of the startup package. You're just paranoid because, you don't want people to know that you are doing this stuff because it might feel weird. It might feel strange. I know when I was coming into my spiritual awakening, I always tried to hide it. I always tried to hide when I prayed. I always tried to hide when I read inspirational books. I didn't want nobody to know that I was trying to be a good person. It was crazy. I mean, I really did not want anybody to know that I was trying to better myself because in the world that I live in, that was considered weak. So in order to be strong or tough in my world back then, you had to be a bad guy. So maybe you are feeling paranoid a little bit from time to time. Maybe you're just feeling like, man, I don't know, what they think. What they think. I wonder what they think. If you're thinking like that, man, then you are starting your spiritual awakening. Number 5, you begin to meet super amazing, cool people. Like people come into your life that you wouldn't expect to be talking to. Like all kind of charismatic people come into your life. People with special abilities are coming into your life. You might not know that these people have special abilities and all these gifts and talents and these different personalities that are going to help you throughout your spiritual journey. And what's going to happen is you run into these new people, right? These spectacular people that the universe is going to provide for you, and they're going to rub off on you. Their spirit energies are going to transfer to you, and so you're going to pick up some of the things that they have. And that's how it is along the spiritual journey. You run into people, you meet them, you know them for a moment in time. Most people, some of them gonna be your girlfriend, your boyfriend. You might make some of them your husband, your wife, whatever the case may be. You're just gonna run into a whole lot of spectacular, wonderful people, and it's gonna build your own personality because you're gonna run into the people who have what you need in order to complete the potential of your personality. Does that make any sense? If you don't understand what I'm saying, have you ever heard the term stealing my swag? Like, oh my God, that person has a lot of swag and it's contagious and I'm gonna steal their swag. Have you ever heard people say that, or have you ever heard of the term swag or style? Somebody has a great style. I wanna wear that dress just like she wears it. That's what I mean when people are gonna be coming into your life. People are gonna come into your life for that very reason, and that very reason is to help you along your spiritual awakening, your spiritual journey, to help build you and your character and your personality so that you can mount up to the desire or how you see yourself in your mind's eye. How do you think people become the way they are? It's because over a course of time, they were around certain people who helped them get to where they are in their personality, and they bloom just like a sunflower because they were around many other sunflowers. Number 6, you begin to become tired of living the same old way. You're tired of the same old habits. You're tired of hanging around the same people. You're tired of doing the same thing. You're tired of going to the same bar. You're tired of going out to the club. You're tired of going to the same church. You're tired of always being outside. You're starting to want to be more inside. You're tired of being an introvert. You start to want to be an extrovert. You're tired of hanging around your race of people. You start to feel like you want to hang around other races of people. You know, you just get tired of sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so this is another sign that you're starting the spiritual awakening. Because a spiritual awakening means that it's a part of everything. You know, having a spiritual awakening means you want to become oneness with yourself. And to become oneness with yourself, you're becoming oneness with the universe. You're becoming oneness with God, who is in all things. So for you to accept the fact that you're not connected with everything, it kind of bothers you, because you know deep down inside it's not the right thing to do. And so you're gonna lose that notion, and you're gonna adopt a different notion that says, I want to connect with everything. I'm interested in everything. I want to try different foods. I want to go different places. I want to hang around different people. I want to be something different than what they taught me I should be. You begin to become more curious about religion. You become more curious about who is this entity, this person, this spirit, this source they call God. What is this universe stuff they talk about? What is this new age stuff that they're talking about? What is the spiritual awakening stuff they're talking about? They're talking like it's the greatest thing ever. Oh man, they like happy people, talk about happiness and peace and love. What is this? What is it? And so, I mean, that's how I was. That's how I was. You know, I was always wondering, like, man, what is it? What is it about these people talking about this type of stuff? You know, it's really interesting, it seems. You know, but I wasn't raised like that. I'm a Christian. You know, I go to a Baptist church. You know, we dive in pool pits. You know, and we shout and catch the Holy Ghost and stuff like that. What is this stuff? And so the more you begin to like just learn different things in life versus from how you was raised, you begin to see life is not so bad after all. You know, these people come from different backgrounds, you know, come from different cultures, different religions. It's just that everybody comes from different places, different states, different countries, different races. That's the beauty of life, creativity. And so we live in a rainbow world. You know, we live in a colorful world where there's a lot of different everything around us, because it makes life fun. It makes life exciting, right? Life is so exciting right now, guys. All right, number 8 is signs. You start to see signs, these things that spiritual people call signs. I know you heard of that song Rihanna made. All I see is signs. All I see is dollar signs. But a lot of people that don't think spiritually would think that, hey, she's talking about money. But at the same time, she's talking about the signs that I'm talking about now. Spiritual signs. Signs all around us that only we can see through our own eyes. For instance, if you're going down a highway, right, you just got upset with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, and you're just freaking mad, you're frustrated, something just went wrong, and all of a sudden you see a billboard that says, be at peace. And you're like, wow, that's for me. That's for me. If you're experiencing circumstances like that where you just see signs and signs and signs, or as a matter of fact, another sign could be a friend telling you something about yourself. Like, you seem different. I don't know, it's something about you. And you're like, what? You're like, and your friend is like, I don't know, I just feel something different about you. You're like, what? You feel something different about me? And he's like, yeah, man, I don't know, man. And then all of a sudden, your friends stop hanging around you or something. Or your friends just stop hanging around you, period. Because something on the inside of you is changing. You know what it is. Only you know what it is. And so these are signs around you where weird things are happening that you can't figure out. You don't understand why it's happening. You don't understand why. That means it's a spiritual thing happening, because you can't figure it out. There is no evidence to show you, hey, this is how you get through it. This is what's really going on. Nothing. Out of the clear blue sky, something weird is happening. That's a sign that you're starting your spiritual awakening. Okay, number 9, self-development. You just feel the need to want to better yourself. You feel the need to want to do different things. You know, you feel the need to want to give back. You feel the need to want to volunteer. You feel the need to want to help out kids or start your own daycare. You feel the need to want to start your own business. You feel the need to want to start up something creative for yourself. Like I said, you're just tired of living the old way. You just want to do something different. You want to develop yourself. You want to transcend your old self and start this new self who you see yourself as in your mind's eye. If you come to a point in your life where it feels like, you just want to better things, you just want to go forward, leave the past behind, you really want to make a significant change in your life for the betterment, for the good, for once and for all, then this is a sign. This is definitely a sign that you are starting your spiritual awakening. I remember when I first started my spiritual awakening, I was eager to be somebody new. I was eager to just leave my old habits, leave my old ways, because I started to realize it wasn't the outside, it was all me. Or put it like this, I just decided to take responsibility, take responsibility for my own actions, or just take responsibility like in general. I didn't want to have no excuses about anything, and I was just like, you know what, it is what it is. I'm gonna change myself so I won't have to be around these type of people, so I won't have to be in this environment. I'm gonna change myself to make myself better. And so, it takes time to do that. It takes time to do that. But guys, I have something special for you. If you want to get my Trenius Transcendence package or guide, it's absolutely free. It's in the description section. All you got to do is click the link where it says Trenius Transcendence, and then you're gonna put your email in, and then it's gonna lead you to the guide that I have for you. And you just read through the guide, and it's gonna resonate with you. If it don't resonate with you, it don't resonate with you. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna resonate with you if you're looking to transcend, who you used to be into your new self. And if you want to buy the CDs, that come with it, that's fine. It's all completely inexpensive. I mean, it's cheap. It's only $47. Anyway, so if you want to do more like self-development, like behind closed doors, when I ain't around or whatever, that's cool. That's fine. Check that out. Trenius Transcendence. Don't forget. Okay, number 10. The last sign that you are starting your spiritual journey is tragedy. Tragedy strikes when we least expect it. As a matter of fact, if you're a person who's experienced a tragedy, then consider yourself worthy. I mean, you are strong. You have a very, very, very big purpose in your life, because most of us don't get to experience tragedies to the extent that you probably experienced tragedies. And if you haven't experienced tragedies, consider yourself lucky. Consider yourself lucky, because it's not easy to get through a tragic situation, man. We've all been in the midst of people who've had tragic situations. We've all been close to having tragic situations. I know I have. When you face a tragic situation, it really does something to your inner spirit. It's so catastrophic that it really breaks you down as a human being, and it makes you go on the inside. And that's why people that have tragic situations mostly cut themselves off from everything around us, the world around us and stuff like that. You can't call them, can't get to them, they don't want to do nothing, they don't want to eat nothing. And this ain't because they being selfish or anything, it's just because they really had love for that person, or they never really knew that this was going to happen in their life. They're upset, something bad happened for them. I mean, it's just like, I never knew that this was going to happen to me, and I had a lot planned, I had a lot going for myself, and this happens to me. It's heartbreaking, and a lot of people don't know how that feels. And so nobody can understand the pain of a person that's experienced tragedy. And this is definitely a sign that you are starting a spiritual awakening. If you know somebody that experienced tragedy and touch you, or if you're a person who has experienced tragedy, because you have a purpose at hand, and you're very, very cared for by the universe. The universe wants you to get a message, and the universe put somebody into your life that was able to catapult you to the next level, to make you look on the inside of yourself. This situation happened because you had to look down in your inner spirit and say, am I going to come out of this or not? Or am I going to let this hold me down? So tragic situations is the last sign. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Trenius Henderson of the infamous Living Realm Network. Divine Powers working for us. Why? Because we're trying to do right. Exactly. So speak up, let your voice be heard. Let us know what are some of the signs that you've experienced at the very bottom in the comment section if you're starting a spiritual awakening. What are some of the things that you're going through right now that is a beginning of your spiritual awakening. Let us know. Speak up, let your voice be heard. In the meantime, again, y'all check out that Trenius Transcendence if you need that extra help. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next 24 hours. Peace.